Good morning, children. Last class we saw the chapter fiber to fabric. Yes, we saw what is meant by fiber, yarn, and fabric, and the sources of fibers. We saw the classifications of fibers: natural fiber and artificial or synthetic fibers. So, first, what is fiber? Fiber means thin strands of thread. Threads are called as your fiber, and the fibers will be joined together to give us the yarn. Yarn means நூல்கண்டு in Tamil. The fabric means the dress which we wear is made up of threads. That thread only we are calling it as yarn. So fabric is the cloth which we use to make the dress. So we saw that there are different types of fabric like silk, wool, cotton, rayon, nylon, and so many different types of fabric is available. Because there are two types of fibers, natural fiber and synthetic fiber. We saw the natural fibers example as cotton and jute. How are they derived? How are they obtained? Cotton is obtained from the plant cotton. Jute is obtained from the plant jute. Whereas wool will be obtained from the animals like sheep and goat. Okay? So now we are going to see the next stages required to prepare a fabric. Okay, now first we saw that from the cotton plant we are getting the cotton fibers. That is from which part of the plant? From the flower. The flowers of the cotton plant are called as cotton bolls. Okay, my dear children, it is not balls. I told you last class itself, it is cotton bolls. Now, in between, what are the processes are actually happening to get the cotton dress? Yes, that is what we are going to see today. I know how I am getting the cotton fiber, and I know I am seeing the cotton dress. But from the fiber to the dress, what is happening in the between? What are the processes happening? Those processes only we are going to see today. The processes involved in converting fiber to fabric are of four types. Number one, ginning, spinning, weaving and knitting. Okay, my dear children. So let us see what is this each processes are telling us. Okay, children. Ginning means combing. Okay, so from the cotton bolls, once the cotton fiber is taken, have you seen the cotton plant? The flowers will have the snow like structures called as your cotton bolls. Those bolls will be either hand, that is actually by the people, they will be picking it, they will be plucking the flowers from the cotton plant. Okay, the cotton balls will be hand picked. After they are plucking the cotton balls, they will be combed. Combed means from the flowers will have seed, right? Your fruit you are eating, mango. Mango will have the seed inside, right? So similarly, the cotton balls also will have seeds inside them. I am going to separate the seeds from the cotton balls and will separate the cotton fibers alone through the process of combing. Okay, that combing, you can see the picture in page 20 in your book textbook, the 3.7 figure, that the manually the people, human beings will be plucking it from the plant, and they will separate the seeds from the cotton. So this is the first process. The process name is ginning. Second process is spinning. So spinning means, have you heard what is the contextual meaning of the word spin? Spin means rotating, right? So this spinning process will enable the fibers to yarn. That means the cotton fibers will be, which are all in the form of the thread, will be twisted and they will be made into yarn. Okay, have you seen Gandhiji, Mahatma Gandhiji spinning the cotton threads? Okay, see the figure 10, 3.10 and 3.11 in your textbook. Those instruments are used to convert the fibers into yarn. Fibers means thread, yarn means noolkande. How are we grouping the fibers into a yarn? It will be done with your instruments like takli, charka, and some spinning machines are available nowadays. We are all technologized. So in the olden days, we had charka and takli to twist the fibers, whereas nowadays we are having machines to twist the fibers. Okay, my dear children. And the last process is weaving and knitting. So first we saw how the fibers are obtained from the plant. Next we saw how the fibers are converted into yarn. Once the yarn is ready, what is the next step? We have to make the yarn into a cloth. Yes, that is done by two processes, weaving and knitting. So when you have two sets of yarn, I mean when you join two threads and you prepare a cloth, means it is called as weaving. When you are taking only one set of yarn and you are preparing a dress, means it is called as knitting. Okay, so handlooms, all the dresses, cotton dresses always will require two sets of thread. Okay, one thread in the horizontal direction and the other one will be weaved in the vertical direction. Okay, like this, one thread like this, and then the other thread will be like this. So when you zoom into your cloth and see that the threads will be in this format only, so that is called as weaving. You will have two threads, one in the horizontal like your columns, lines, and the other one is in the your rows. Okay, so when you weave two threads, I will get the clothing. And when I'm taking only a single piece of thread and I'm preparing a fabric, means that is knitting. Have you seen some knitting ideas, my dear children? How are your socks stitched? By a piece of thread only, by one single yarn only. They used to knit. Sweaters and socks are not stitched, they are not weaved, they are knitted. Okay, so this knitting and weaving are done by either hand operations or machines. Hand operation, some people will do knitting processes in hand, and we even have automated machines to do the weaving and knitting processes. The next is history of clothing. This is just your map, like children, how from the ancient period to the normal modern age the human beings were preparing or they were using the cloths. Initially people were not aware of the fibers, so they made use of some bark of on the leaves of trees and the animal skins as their dress. Okay, they used the skins of animals and the leaves of the trees to wrap around their body. They just like that itself, without any stitching and nothing, they just wrapped it around their body. Okay, then came a revolution and they started using weaved twigs and grasses into mat and basket. For the mat and baskets they used grass. They just stitched, or weaving means what, my dear children? It is stitching. Okay, they stitched it using the grass and they made it as mat. Okay, then the next thing was some modern age development, that cotton fabric was made by the Indians. So by this period fibers were known widely around the world and cotton was used by Indians. Cotton and flax. Flax is also a fiber used by your Egyptians. Then after once the fabrics are found, they started finding the sewing machines, stitching machines. Okay, using the needles, they are stitching now different types of cloths like saris, kurtis, jeans, so and so. So this is how the clothing was developed from the ancient period to the modern age. Okay, children. So by this, your chapter fiber to fabric is over. So let us recall what did we see in this chapter. We first saw what is meant by fiber. Fiber means thread. Then from the threads, when they are grouped together, we got our yarn. Once the yarn is ready with different colors, we made the fabric. That is your clothes. Okay. Then we saw the two types of fibers. What are the two types of fibers? Natural fiber and synthetic fiber. Again, in the natural fibers, we had two types. That is, from the plants obtained fiber and from the animals obtained fiber. Can you list out some plant obtained fibers? Cotton and jute. What are the animal sourced fibers? Wool and silk. Silk is obtained from silkworm. Wool is obtained from sheep and goats. So in this chapter we were seeing in detail about the natural fibers which are all obtained from the plants. We saw about the cotton fiber and jute in detail. Cotton is obtained from the cotton plant, and how are we getting it? We got it by the from the flower of the cotton plant. The cotton balls will look like snowballs, and once it is all grown much and they are harvested, that is, the cotton balls will be hand picked by human beings and they undergo a process called ginning. Right? Ginning means combing. That is the separation of seeds from the cotton balls, and I am getting only the fibers ready for the next stage of process. The next stage will be spinning. In spinning, what is happening? I am going to prepare the yarn from the fibers. Okay, by using the instruments like takli, charka, and some spinning machines. And the last process is knitting and weaving. Once the yarn is ready at the end of the spinning process, I am going to make the fabric. I am going to do it in two process, that is weaving and knitting. In weaving is nothing but stitching. I use two sets of thread to form a fabric. That is like example like my cotton dress, synthetic dress, nylon dress, okay, polyester dresses and all. Whereas in knitting, I will use only one set of thread to prepare the fabric. Example will be my sweaters and socks. Okay, my dear children. And the next fiber which we saw was jute. Jute will be obtained from the jute plant. Okay, so for the jute plant is grown, they will be soaking it. They will immerse the jute plant in water. And where is the jute obtained from? Which part of the plant? It is from the stem, whereas from the cotton plant, flower gives the cotton fiber. In the jute plant, the stem gives the jute fibers. Okay, so from the stems will be immersed in the water. Immersed means dipped in water and left as such for few days. So what happens when the plant is soaked in water and left as such for few days? It will rot and it will decay. Once it is rotten, from that the jute fibers are separated. Okay, so where do we find jute fibers? In Assam, West Bengal and Bihar. Where is cotton growing? Cotton is growing in South India. The states like Maharashtra, Gujarat will have a very good growth of cotton plant, because cotton plant requires certain conditions for its growth. Cotton plant will grow only in black soil. Okay, children? At the end, we saw about the history of clothing from the ancient period till the modern age. So first, people used animal skins and leaves to cover their body. Then they used the grasses for mat and baskets. Then came our fibers. Okay, fibers from the plant and animals were used for dresses. Cotton and flax was used by the people all around the world. Then stitching machines, okay, using sewing needles were found, and we got our saris, kurtis and jeans and so into existence, giving a wide variations in the revolution of clothing. Okay, children, I hope you are clear with this chapter. Please read the entire chapter and see. If you have any doubt, you can call me. You have to see the pictures also in your textbook for your better understanding, children. Thank you. See you in the next class.